Hello, everybody. It is Ebontis, and today's video is going to be kind of a somber one. About a few hours ago, I've been kind of waiting to see if, we'll kind of get the dust to settle, if there's going to be anything official. Uh, but we definitely got some news in the Bungie world today, and none of it's good. We had, I think it started earlier with some of the community team. Griffin, I know Bianchi, Liana, Sam. That's like a better part of your public community team. I think Cosmo's still there. I think Bruno's still there. Those are the only ones I can think of, at least right now, for community facing. But I mean, Leona's written tons of the Twids. She's been there for quite a while. You've got Sam, who was there for about 2 years. She was also part of the community and Twids and all of that type of stuff. Griffin, he's been community forever that I can remember. 5 years, literally over 5 years. Another person, 10 years, was there, and they were support managers. So you're talking about player support. So community managers, player support, but I've seen it go as far as art, legal, QA. A lot of layoffs going around the Bungie studio right now, and that's just terrible. So first off, if anyone is a fan of somebody losing your job, you can just kiss off right now. I don't care. Anybody on Twitter who's like, oh, I'm glad somebody lost, you don't get it. You really don't get it. So yeah, if you're a fan of anybody losing their job, you can just walk right out of my community. That's fine. Anybody doing that, probably check what you're really thinking about. But people walk in on a Monday or log in on a Monday or however you get to work, and then they realize by the end of that day they're no longer employed. It's awful. It's never a good thing. And these people have had dreams of working with Bungie, working on Destiny. All of these are just terrible. Whether it's 10 years, 5 years, 2 years, doesn't matter. Bungie is one of these studios a ton of people have wanted to work for, and they no longer do as of today, and that's absolutely terrible. So my heart goes out to all of them. Hopefully they land on their feet other places quickly. If you can get through what I hear the Bungie interview process is like, you've got to be a pretty damn valuable person to be able to make it through that process. So any company who finds these people, hopefully they all get snatched up quickly and get new jobs, because they're all damn good quality people, and every one of them I've had interactions with has been awesome to work with. So I hope all those people find really good jobs very, very quickly, and just send out your wishes to them. Hopefully they are doing well. Yeah, it looks like another tweet came out saying the disciplines affected so far: community, social, marketing, publishing, art, QA, support, legal, HR, and production. That's the teams. That's pretty much most of the company. Now it's a lot of the surrounding, and QA again is another part of dev. So you're not looking at a lot of developers per se, but a lot of the surrounding people just got trimmed, and that sucks. But the community team, the social team, that looked like it got gutted. I don't know how much is left. I mean, I know Cosmo and Bruno might be the only two still there that I can think of off the top of my head. If I'm forgetting anybody, it's not intentional. But those are just the faces and names that I kind of think of offhand. It's rough. So I know not everybody's gone. I know another one, Andy Salisbury. I actually talked to him at GCX. I think he's still there. So I don't know who is. But the other thing you have to picture is all the people who lost their jobs today. They have an awful, awful day. But the vibe for anybody who's still there, not good. Anytime anybody's been around layoffs, it makes everybody uneasy, worrisome. You're not going to put your best foot forward. The work environment is bad. So also my heart goes out to the people who are still there. I mean, maybe a little less so just for the fact that they're still employed, but it still sucks. Their whole environment now is shaken. It's like, am I going to walk in on a Monday and get fired next week? We don't know. It's really, really not a good thing. So the environment in the studio, you're not going to see people as productive. Today is going to be a really rough day for a lot of people. It's going to be very, very rough. And overall, this is just going to not help anything for anything they're trying to work on. I don't know what the community communication is going to be like now. We just started getting, like, we had the Joe Blackburn stream, and we had that interaction, and you had the state of the game come out, and then Joe Blackburn turn around and do his tweet after that to kind of help fix what was said. But either way, it's not really a good thing when all this stuff is going on. Now, we've got another piece of news. Now, this is a lot of it started coming out from Jason Schreier outside of the layoffs, which I saw. It also seems that it hasn't officially been said, but generally it's one of those, if the Jason Schreier article is coming out, then it's more of a when the news is actually going to get updated. So the other thing that happened is Final Shape is supposedly delayed. Now, I would take Jason Schreier's word generally well most of the time, so I would expect an announcement at some point, as opposed to if it's going to happen, but it sounds like it's been pushed to June. So that is a minimum of March, April, and May. So that's a minimum of 3 months longer, which makes the season likely around 6 months, at least, depending on what's going on. Now, this isn't something that seems like it was quite as planned. It doesn't feel that way, at least. They announced with the date, the delay. Games get delayed all the time. I get that. We've been around, games get delayed. I'm always for the fan of delaying the game till you're happy with the quality product that you're going to put out. As a live service game, Bungie has typically worked on this schedule to try and keep content going. They were trying to shift over to episodes, and they are working on that post-final shape. 6-month kind of chunks of content that people could like dive into and then maybe take a little break and dive into and take a little break. But they were going to be 18-week seasons instead of about 12. So you would get basically 3 seasons over the course of a year. And that would give them more time to either work on what they work on, a little more quality in a season versus like the quantity for the constant push. That's all sounding like it's delayed starting now in June. Maybe this episode start in either late June or early July, depending on when in June this thing falls. If it's a 4-month delay, like you're talking into June, then early July is when you're getting that first episode. The delay seems to be all but inevitable at this point. And then Marathon, which supposedly was 24, which I still didn't ever believe, is now supposedly slipping into 25, which is where I expected it to be anyway. I wouldn't hold your breath on Marathon for a good minute. 25, maybe. And if they delay and work on trying to get all this other stuff right, 26, who knows? There's also been articles where rumors of Sony pulling back some of their live service wants. They had, I feel like, thrown 12, you throw a noodle at the wall, see if it sticks. That's why you know it's done. I feel like that's a saying somewhere. I feel like they had like 10 or 12 of those things that they threw at the wall to see what they could try and get off the ground. Because live service is where a lot of these companies have wanted to go, except all of them fail, except Destiny. Now we see even Bungie struggling with Destiny and content and player support, and you can have a thought about their decisions about games and finances and Eververse and all this other stuff that's going on, but even Destiny is not bulletproof. We know that. We've watched it. And Nightfall did not help anything because that was one of their least well-received expansions in a while. All of this stuff going on, some people are wondering, like, what's going to happen? Is Destiny going to, like, make it? It's like, Destiny's not going anywhere, per se. They're still going to be around. But this is also where you start looking around and trying to read the writing on the wall, read between the lines, whatever it may be, and see what is going to happen to Destiny as a general community. Are the numbers going to be there? Is the hype going to be there quite as much? Like, how is the game going to go forward? Now, I'm not going anywhere. I'm still going to cover the game. I'm still going to play whatever is there. But if you have a 6-month season, and I haven't even played that much of the current season that we're in right now, and we have a season that is that much longer as we wait for the final shape to get here, there's not likely going to be a 30th anniversary influx of content, because if you start at, say, like late November, or I don't even know if they're going to delay the launch of the next season, whether it's November, whether it's December, and you've got to get to June, they don't make 5-month seasons. They haven't been scheduled to be that way, and there's not going to be a magical influx in February when we were expecting to see an expansion, mostly because the fact that, like, this doesn't seem like it was planned. Most delays aren't planned. They do what they have to. But being as they're working on so many projects and they're trying to put everything they can into final shape in these episodes, there's not enough resources to try and build another piece of content to fill the gap, which means this is going to be a longer season, which also means there's going to be some downtime in there. And me as a content creator, this is a different worry for me, both watching the trend of the game, hence why you guys have probably seen a little variety from Starfield and Remnant and Liza P, and then other things. Just got done playing most of Alan Wake, and I'm trying to actually start that one again. But all of these things are stuff I have to consider as well, watching the tendency of a company that as I have used to help build my channel in following Destiny. I also have to try and make sure I don't put all my eggs in one basket to keep my channel going. So I wanted to let you guys know if there is more variety, if there's other content on this. I'm not leaving the Destiny following and trending and coverage and stuff like that, but it's also if there are opportunities to cover other things that I want to, and I think will work with my channel and my guides and things that you enjoy from me, that is something I plan to do as well. So today is a horrible day. A lot of people lost their jobs. More people in that studio. That's not a small studio. I don't know if it's 1,000 employees or whatever it is, but that entire studio is just nobody feels good in there. Anybody that you know, met, walked into, you may have been working, you may be on a different team, but you still probably met, had lunch, crossed that paths with that person, had multiple meetings, who knows, whatever it is, they're gone. They're no longer at that studio, and you won't be working with some amazingly talented people. And so the environment is bad in there. People will now be unemployed going into the holidays, which is terrible. You've got a game that got delayed in a state where some people are really apathetic over the course of this past couple of seasons, and Nightfall and everything else going into a delay for a very long season 23. It's going to be a bumpy road to see what the next 6-ish months hold, 7 probably, since we're still a month away from our next season. And I just kind of wanted to cover all this for you guys. So I will still be here. I will be doing what I'm doing, but anytime you guys see me do, a sponsored video, anytime you watch those, that's always a great way to help support the channel. Share those with people, like them, watch the ad. They're little things that I do to try and help support myself as a content creator. And when you guys like a video, watch the ad, help support it, share it with friends, any of those types of things help too. So if you see those types of things over the course of the next 6 months, that's me, 1, trying to help grow my channel, and 2, hopefully I can survive as well doing this. Because I want to make sure I'm covering my end, since this is all on me. So today is just a really interesting day to try and digest, and a really terrible day for the people who've been affected. A rough day for those who are still logging in while they're knowing friends are no longer going to be logging in next to them. And just overall, I wanted to let you guys know to send your wishes to those people who've been affected. Stay tuned here. I'll try and keep you guys updated as we go. Podcast will be very interesting on Thursday. I am looking forward to a guest on November 30th, but we'll see how that goes as well. Thank you guys for everything, though. Send your wishes to those who've been affected, and I'll see you guys very soon.